I welcome everyone here seated, as well as those joining from virtual platforms, with a great sense of joy and fulfillment. Today's event is the climax of several weeks of planning, consultations, and engagements with several stakeholders and key partners on how to create a robust team of world beaters, first-class professionals, accomplished entrepreneurs, and enthusiastic global citizens to support and give life to the vision of the state government as it works to transform ABIA into a leading global investment destination, offering a unique set of advantages to local and international businesses in multiple industrial and commercial value chains. Permit me to specially appreciate the very outstanding men and women who have generously offered to support our dear state in various capacities within the ABIA State Global Economic Advisory Council. I extend to all of you the immense appreciation of ABIA people, on whose behalf you have permitted us to bring you together, to guide us in furtherance of our vision to turn our state into a favorite destination for all categories of investments, leveraging on the many opportunities that are bound in our land, including agro-friendly environment, steady supply of skilled and unskilled labor, tax-friendly regime, nearness to regional and global markets, a business-supportive government, and abundance of varieties of in-demand raw materials. Ladies and gentlemen, let me specifically thank the chair, Aruma Ote, AEEM, standing for Ada AJ Jemba of ABIA State, who has worked tirelessly with us to put this together. Aruma is such a great thinker and a workaholic of some sort that you must have in your team if you want to succeed. ABIA cannot thank you enough, my dear sister. I also want to thank His Royal Highness, Alifa Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, for accepting to co-chair this council. He has been so generous, and I thank him for the very kind words that he spoke moments ago. As always, he is my wonderful brother from another mother. Boladi Balogun also co-chairs this council, and he has also been wonderful in making this dream a reality. Victor Onyempa, who joined virtually, and Ifueko Omogu Okauru, who is also with us virtually, started this whole process as chair and co-chair of the Transition Council that worked for several weeks last year to produce the strategy document that the government has been working with in the last 7 months and a half. We thank all of you. We are very excited by the knowledge that this team can achieve so much for the present and the future generation. Everyone here has been selected on the back of a stellar record of excellence in diverse fields relevant to the accomplishment of the task at hand. The mere fact of your presence or membership of this council has already sent a strong signal to interested observers that ABIA is poised to become the next big thing. As I mentioned earlier, in my writings and other engagements with political leaders before now, you don't need to travel around the world in the hunt for investors. If the critical enterprise supporting systems are in place, astute businessmen and women will need no further invitation. There is nothing I will say here that is not already known to the members of this excellent team of world-class scholars, pathfinders, economic influencers, policymakers, visionaries, and leaders in diverse fields of human endeavor. We want to admit that as a government, we do not know it all. That is why we are seeking guidance and advice from those who know better. You have excelled in similar tasks in different environments, that it will make no sense to attempt another round of lecture on this day of enthusiastic expectation from ABIANs and our friends from all over the world. You already know what we want to accomplish, making ABIA a preferred investment destination for global businesses, as I pointed out in my New Year message. Your job as members of this council is to work closely with the government to create practical ways of moving from the vision board to the field of execution, providing intelligent answers to questions around how we can open up the state to those seeking to put their money in an environment where steady returns are assured, in ways that profit the investors themselves, the local economy, and ultimately impact the long-term economic prospects of the state. We are not just seeking to attract a few big manufacturing outfits in the state to score cheap political points. No, our ultimate goal is to remake the entire state into a robust enterprise ecosystem with clear pathways to bigger global and regional markets. We are keen to transform our traditional agroeconomy to become a major player in the global agricultural value chain, producing sufficient output to feed the local population and then for export. We did it in the 50s and early 60s with crude technology and underdeveloped supply chain. I believe we can do it even better in the 21st century with all the amazing opportunities it promises. In ABA, we do not just make quality footwear and clothing. Given the right support, our shoemakers and fashion designers can compete with the best anywhere in the world. Even with the very little in terms of support system, our ABA shoes and fashion items are sold and worn with pride by people in all parts of the world. Our conviction is that we can effortlessly turn the ABIA fashion ecosystem into more than $1 billion industry in only a few years if the right streams of investments can be attracted. I'm optimistic that this council can help us achieve that vision within the next 24 months. Beyond fashion, ABA is also very strong on metal fabrication, woodworks, and mechanical construction. Sadly, the immense potential of our people has stayed hidden and underutilized for far too long. This has given birth to a lot of misrepresentation and quackery. The average technician or craftsman in ABA can simply become a war beater if given the requisite training, equipment, and exposure that their counterparts from places like Southeast Asia take for granted. The good thing is that we now have an effective machinery to create a new era of prosperity, employment, and layers of opportunity for these resilient and creative individuals. Across the state, there are extensive opportunities to exploit in sports, tourism and entertainment, transportation, solid minerals, real estate and property development, food processing, and so many more. There is no part of ABIA that does not have a unique set of advantages that willing investors can profitably harness. The council would expectedly work with the state government and other local stakeholders, including the local chambers of commerce, industry, mines and agriculture, to bring this opportunity to the attention of the investing global community. Our people are welcoming, peace-loving, and hungry for development. You will hardly find any community in ABIA that is not open to new, genuine investment opportunities. All we have lacked before now is a political will to exploit our advantages to the fullest. Today marks the beginning of a new era. We shall no longer punch below our capacity. Going forward, ABIA State and its people shall be known for great things, and we shall never look back. In the last 7 months, we have committed to so much strengthening of our comparative advantages by developing the right governance framework and systems to drive our core vision. As you already know, the Greater Aba Development Authority has been empowered by law to drive the socio-economic rejuvenation of Aba and restore the pride of the old Enyimba city, an inviting and fertile ground for nurturing and growing enterprises, raising families, and enjoying other multiple blessings of the earth. Aba is very dear to our heart, to our vision as a government, and to the future of Africa. And this explains why we take everything we are doing in that city very seriously. While we are a government with big dreams, we are also mindful of the fact that there are a few fundamental things that need to be done to send out unmistakable signal that we are open and ready for business. On assumption of office, we quickly set out to rid our urban cities, including Aba and UMUAHIA, of mountains of refuge. And at that time, we are defining features of these cities. We committed enormous resources to this endeavor because it was clear to us that most decent businesses cannot function in an atmosphere of faith. I'm glad to report that our cities have become cleaner, even though work remains to be done. We are also paying serious attention to environmental sustainability and reduction of carbon footprints. Our green energy and waste-to-energy projects are fully on course. When we came into office at the end of May last year, we wasted no time in mobilizing reputable contractors to begin the reconstruction of roads in our urban centers as a way of improving the business readiness of the city. Our outside-the-box thinking philosophy saw us engaging the engineering staff of the State Ministry of Works to drive the road rehabilitation efforts in several locations at minimal cost. In like manner, our focus on health and education could be discerned from our 2024 budget, where we earmarked 15% and 20% respectively to those sectors. On account of our commitment, several roads that have been abandoned for decades have now been either fully rehabilitated or at various stages of repair. We are not just fixing and restoring roads, we are also clearing and opening drainage pathways to tackle menace of perennial flooding, especially in certain locations in Aba, including the world-famous ABIA International Market. We performed the groundbreaking ceremony for the ABIA Industrial and Innovation Park in late September 2023. The AIP, located in Okwa West of the state, is designed to be the biggest industrial and innovation hub in Nigeria, supporting various categories of industries, including oil and gas refining, manufacturing, ICT, and so much more, to be supported by world-class facilities like gas pipelines, steady electricity, and robust transport infrastructure, including a proposed seaport in Azomini, light rail, and an airfield for ease of access. The AIIP embodies our vision to open up the state to the world and create an endless stream of opportunities for both players in the various economic ecosystems. I'm glad that several multinational groups have made commitments in the AIIP, securing their business lots because they have clearly seen the future. The AIIP proposition is compelling because, unlike all other similar initiatives before it, our strategy is different. We are building a system that is private sector driven, independent of political considerations. The project will outlive our government, but will stand forever as a testimony to our vision, ambition, and success as an administration. It is our belief that no smart investor will ignore the promises and opportunities that the AIIP offers. To the distinguished members of the Council, members of the global and local business communities and fellow Abians, a new dawn is before us. As a government, we are committed to reclaiming the missed opportunities of yesterday while positioning our state strategically for the promises of the future. We are not just determined to set new standards in leadership. We want to demonstrate that, like our peers in Asia and in other parts of the world, we have what it takes to do great things. We are optimistic that in no time, major fashion brands, big techs, and globally renowned manufacturing giants will start setting up plants in different parts of ABIA. Because we have special advantages that can match or even surpass what we find in other places, including effective community-driven security, committed workforce, and easy access to existing and new markets. We are certain that many commentators in the days to come will be wondering how or why we assembled this special team to advise a state government on investment opportunities. We understand the concern, but the quality of the individuals we have in this council speaks to our vision. We want to make our state economically viable, create wealth for genuine businessmen and women, and expand the frontiers of opportunities for our youth population. We are a government that is committed to leveraging the opportunities available to it to do things in new ways. We are also aware that there exist certain limitations that an individual state cannot fully overcome to successfully mine the output of a body like the ABIA Global Economic Advisory Council. Just like Khalifa said, may I therefore assure you that we shall seek assistance and support from the right places, including the federal government and its agencies, neighboring states, and even international development partners whenever the need arises. Beyond the challenges that will be inevitable, including difficult macroeconomic realities within the larger economy, the Global Economic Advisory Council is encouraged to focus more on the opportunities that are within the horizon and how we can make the most of it to write a new beautiful story that we hope would inspire greater beliefs even outside the boundaries of ABIA. More importantly, we'll keep our doors open whenever you need us. As I had hinted at the beginning, I'm very much aware of the great sacrifices you shall be making by your membership of the Global Economic Council, for which we may not have sufficient resources to fully pay you. One thing I can, however, assure you is the enduring gratitude of ABIA's present and future generations, on whose behalf we shall be doing this work. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me stand before you now and commit that we shall work closely with the ABIA State Global Economic Advisory Council, and we will take their advice very, very seriously. And it is on that note that I actually titled this speech today, A New Frontier of Excellence, From Vision to Execution. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me acknowledge some of our senior citizens who joined us virtually. We have Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who joined earlier. I think she must have dropped off by now because she was joining from the World Economic Forum in Davos. We also have the gentleman that spoke to us. Coincidentally, he said he was my staff, and it's good to see that some of the people that grew under us are doing great things. So I want to congratulate Professor Benedict Orama, who is the president of the Afro-Exim Bank, who graciously agreed to join as a member of the ABIA State Global Economic Advisory Council. We have, Ifweko is still here. I had got a message that she will be leaving at some point to go back to the World Economic Forum. Ifweko, I thank you for staying the course with us. Victor Onyempa is also here. Uche Oji is here. And a lot of other senior citizens. Chidi Onyukwu Ajiebu, the former president of ICAN, is also a member of the Global Economic Council. Maazi Clement Owuna, the managing director and chief executive of Starline Nigeria Limited, graciously also accepted. And we have a few professors, one of them from Harvard, another one from UCL, who we will be announcing very soon, who are also part of the ABIA Global Economic Advisory Council. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me once again thank you for joining us for this inauguration, and thank all the members who we really cannot pay. Halifa was talking about me being an economist. That was yesterday. The economics of today is different. So as you complete your PhD in Oxford, you will know that the economics you are reading there is different from the one we read in the 80s. So we need your advice. We need you to tell us how things are being done today. And as you do that, God will continue to bless all of you. Thank you very much.